Hemsworth as enthusiastic an Asgardian as ever, Thor's future with both love and thunder are bright.
Yeah, hello. Is this Uber Eats? Yeah, no, everything's fine. I just ordered a laugh like 5 minutes ago. It still hasn't arrived. Yeah, so guys, basically this movie, Thor: Love Is Thunder. I honestly didn't think it was that funny. Also, I feel like Thor should go more into like the Thor movies should be like have a more serious genre shift. Because we've already seen like comedic Thor. But this movie I just didn't think it landed that well. Also, I feel like IGN like it gives too many reviews like a seven. I feel like it's kind of like a safe spot for them. I just feel like they don't they don't want to disappoint the Marvel fanboys, or maybe they don't want to hurt their chances of getting sponsored by Marvel in like future videos. But overall though, I also felt like they could have done better with the main villain, because Christian Bale, he's a pretty good actor. It just kind of felt underwhelming. I think they mentioned it itself in the review, but then they just go ahead and give it a seven, which I just don't get. But yeah, so we're gonna move on to number four.
The script is downright hokey sometimes, and there are odd moments that are weird for the sake of it without adding anything to the story. That said, it's got a score that's to die for, some rockin' performances, and fans will never once be bored.
Alright, it's me, the dude, and I'm gonna speak about Multiverse of Madness and IGN's overall review. And overall, it's way too generous for it. Like, I do agree with some of the stuff they talk about, but they're letting it override the movie. Yes, those things are great. Acting, the performances, the production. Visually speaking, it is a great. It does look amazing. Especially even some of the performances were pretty good, especially from Elizabeth Olsen and Benedict Cumberbatch. But they're really overlooking the movie's flaws. Those aspects are there to complement the movie and make it bring it to life. The script and the writing are the big meat of the bones of this movie. And overall, it's not that great. The plot is very convoluted, like they said. Like a lot of the characters too feel really weird. I really like Wong. Cumberbatch is strange. I feel like they did not do justice in this movie. Elizabeth Wanda was a lot more psycho. I really did not care about her kids or anything, and at the end she just kind of dies and just goes. What they did with her is kind of what they did with those characters. I feel like was a bit weak, and of course we have the other character. I already forgot about her, America. Like he's kind of forgettable too. So yeah, it's not a seven. I think they're just being overly generous with these movies. That's it. Off to number three.
But while the film is plied with eye-catching action sequences, it struggles to strike a balance between action and family drama, and reinforces some of Marvel's tired tropes of women superheroes. It ultimately captures Natasha as a formidable fighter with unshakable morals, making her inadequate endgame send-off all the more bittersweet.
Alright, so we got Black Widow now. I mean, this movie's probably in contention for one of the worst Marvel movies. But I feel like honestly, one of the major flaws for this movie was the CGI. Like it could have been way better. Like some of the scenes when they're like in the sky, and I think in one like the space, not spaceship, like the aircrafts. Like it looks so janky and out of place. You wouldn't expect that from like such a high budget movies like Marvel. Like they've done CGI well in the past, but I feel like for this movie, it didn't look good at all. But one thing I would say for this movie is right. I do respect like the creativity. Like I think the reviewer like mentions it in the review itself that like there's like a genre shift. Like it's not your typical Marvel movie. There's kind of like an espionage genre, which it would have been good if they executed it properly. Cause it there's like some scenes where it's like action and then like it's Marvel related stuff, and then other scenes it's just like they're family drama, which I mean I know it builds characterization and everything, but the pacing just kind of felt off. But that's just it. But also me personally, I don't care about Black Widow. I mean, she doesn't even have powers, so I just don't care at all. Scarlet Witch is way better. So yeah, let's move on to number 2.
The story gets unwieldy when it shifts into a cosmic scale. Had it kept the narrative closer to home, it would have played better as a standalone film, but it wouldn't have felt like the grand Eternals introduction into the MCU had that been the case.
Alright. Eternals review. I know IGN has an unhealthy obsession with the number 7, but what is this? No. I saw this movie in theaters and I can barely remember it. They say I already talked something about the LGBT character. Honestly, that does not matter to me. It does not, if it almost impacts their character whatsoever. Another thing, they talk about how great the characters are. They're not. They're really the most bland, boring, dead characters I've seen in any of these blockbuster movies, and they're not balanced at all. There's so many stuff going on, like romantic relationships, rivalries, like personal struggles. Oh, I want to be older. I want this, or stuff like, oh, I killed so many people, and like the idea is like they talk about like, oh, interesting idea. The idea of like how with these Eternals, like they always ask, oh, why didn't the Eternals come in over and stop Thanos or stop the Ultron? But they're like, oh no, we need to help the humanity develop. It's just like they don't develop that idea properly. They really don't, and it makes the movie feel so convoluted and bland, especially with its bland visuals as well. With the visuals too were really, really generic and did not look good. Same with Black Widow. So yeah, overall this movie is not good. They kind of wasted a lot of talent. I noticed the guy from Train to Busan was in here, and it was kind of sad seeing him in this, being shown in a breakthrough Marvel movie, being in this one. It's sad.
She-Hulk Attorney at Law does just that by playing in the sitcom sandbox, introducing female sexuality into the MCU,
unprecedented for sure,
and bringing major new players into the franchise.
I'm here.
And yeah, the Daredevil Walk of Shame wasn't bad either.
Yo, IGN, what are you smoking, man? This show is not an 8 in any dimension, man, in any multiverse. No pun intended. Like, come on, man. She-Hulk, it's definitely not an 8 out of 10, man. It's like this review is terrible. I mean, that's why it's number 1, like the worst review. There's so many flaws. So I don't know. It's hard to choose where to get started. But I guess I'll start with like the CGI. Like first of all, like CGI on her face is terrible. Like it's so janky. Hulk, like on the other hand, like Bruce Banner, it looks more natural. It looks decent. I mean, She-Hulk, they could have done a better job with the CGI. And then moving on. CGI is like the least of the worries. Okay, so let's talk about like the writing. So I feel like they completely ruined Hulk's character. Like you see in the training scenes and everything. Like I feel like they downplay Hulk way too much. Like, come on, man. I know he's not going all out and everything, and I know it's a female show, women power and all that, but so Hulk doesn't move, and then She-Hulk does the same movement, but then they show it like she's just doing it better. Like I don't know, like instantly, I don't know how that makes sense. And then let's talk about the humor in the show. I've noticed like they did a bunch of fourth wall breaks and like a bunch of meta humor. Honestly, like I feel like meta humor at this point is so redundant, and it just keeps getting old. It's like, with all that being said, I don't think it's an 8 at all. Also, like I remember the scene. I think it was like She-Hulk. It's not in the actual show, but like people got that messed up. It's like towards the end credits, like you just see She-Hulk twerking with Megan Thee Stallion. Like that just seems so out of place, man. There's also one thing I gotta say. I remember the scene where she's like, "You don't understand my problems. Like I don't need him." I think she's like, I'm paraphrasing here, obviously. She's like, "I don't need a man to explain what to do," But then, like, it comes off, kind of stupid, for lack of a better term, because obviously Hulk's gonna know like how to manage anger, because he's more experienced. Like he's already been in that body of Hulk, so he's gonna know how to manage it. But there's also like little slight moments like that. I feel like I don't want to get political here or anything, because that's not what we do in the Best Reviewers channel, But there's like moments like those. So yeah, overall though, you know what? One good thing about this review though, at least it's not a 7.